We're in Dorset, where, at low tide, we've been exploring the remnants of coastal defences from the Second World War. We've learned that 6 men lost their lives here when several tanks sank during rehearsals for D-Day, and we want to find out why.
The tanks being put through their paces in exercise Smash were Valentine duplex drive tanks. Amazingly, it's possible to see firsthand how these tanks worked because there's a fully functioning example still in existence.
This tank has several features that allowed it to operate on both land and sea. The most obvious being the canvas skirt, which was raised by filling rubber tubes with compressed air. When afloat, the tank would sit low in the water.
One of the things that strikes me, though, is just how fragile it looks. Any waves, really, any amount of weather would be catastrophic.
Tank's in land mode right now.
Yes, that's right. I'll show you the amphibious features. The most obvious here is the propeller, which I shall just show you.
Oh, OK.
Well, that's what it's like when it's afloat. And for the first part of the run ashore, the commander would steer it from here. I can show you that. And it steers just like an outboard motor.
So, yeah, so they're coming into the beach, skirt still up high.
Yes, skirt's right up.
Commander's there with the stick, steering as they come in, and then as they land, up goes the propeller, skirt collapses.
Spin the turret round.
Spin the turret round, off you go.
Yep. Here is a water indicator. There's a bulb inside, rubber bulb, and when water is up to this level, that bulb is inflated, and then when the water level drops, the bulb drops, and so the driver knows that it's safe to deflate the screen.
This prow shape, that's
Yes,
that
is an
unique
addition to the standard tank, and that is obviously to help it cut through the water. These arms, they fold a bit like your own arm, like that, and they help to hold up the frame. It won't lift the screen, but it's enough to hold the screen up in the event of a catastrophic air leak.
What do you think of the design?
I think it's a brilliant design, but there's no way that I would ever risk my life in it, but they did.
Many of these tanks did make it to shore in exercise Smash, but several didn't, and John has some information that might help us to understand why.
Second Lieutenant Ford, who later became General Sir Robert Ford, he's given an account in the Royal Dragoon Guard's history of exactly what it was like, because he was actually on a tank, one of the tanks that did go down. He describes being launched off the landing craft and then very quickly the weather deteriorating.
And turning around, I saw ahead of us a wave which appeared to be 3 or 4 feet higher than our screen, and the outcome was inevitable. And then the canvas screen collapsed on us, entombing us in the tank as the water swirled around us and the tank steadily sank below the surface. I mean, just imagine that.
He was actually trapped inside the canvas. The frame came down and trapped his foot, and he was wearing non-regulation boots, which enabled him to get his feet out from under the metal frame, which had trapped them, and he escaped, and the other 3 crew drowned.
In the darkness, I could feel the other members of the crew struggling to free themselves.
But they never did.
But they never did. Gosh. I can see why you wouldn't want to go to sea, to war in one of these.